Hello Internet. Today I will be attempting to get the Platinum Trophy in God of War 2018 using only my fists. That means beating the entire game's story and every single side quest, doing all the combat trials in Muspelheim, farting around in Niflheim for hours on end, and most dauntingly of all, collecting 332 collectibles without using any weapons or any boys. Oh yeah, there's also these 9 bosses called the Valkyries who I have to kill, but I'm sure that won't be very difficult.
No! Oh. Fuck. I'm screaming at the prospect. Fuck! No! No! I can't do this anymore!
So, my adventure of violence and rage began by calmly chopping down a tree and taking a few deep breaths.
I don't chase, I attract. I deserve everything.
Well, unfortunately, our peace was interrupted by what appeared to be a medium-sized lesbian. Anyway, it's all very sad and very serious. My wife has died, and consequently, I'm now stuck with this small child for the next 50 hours. During the opening chapter of this game, not much god-killing occurred. We instead moped around in a boat for a bit, and Atreus salt-bathed his mother's corpse in some sort of ceremonial burial. Being the manly man I am, I found this emotional stuff boring.
Boring! Boring! Boring!
I had a thirst for action and killing and stuff, and so I demanded my son ditch his mother's funeral and instead come hunting with me.
Now?
Now,
What are we hunting?
you are hunting deer
Which way?
in the direction of deer.
A few moments later.
What are you doing? Now his guard is up!
I instantly regretted inviting Atreus on this trip, because it turns out he has the aim of Stevie fucking Wonder. I was just about to show Atreus just how much that mistake had angered me, but before I could land my first uppercut, we were attacked by some Draugr. This was our first encounter of the game, and now might be a good time to explain that I am counting the shield as fists, as it's part of the punching combo and is completely unavoidable. When I say fist only, what I really mean is fists, feet, and shield only. But that doesn't make for a good YouTube title. Anywho, after a few more drawn out tutorial sequences, we found the deer again, and I managed to peer pressure Boy into ruthlessly murdering it.
No. Finish what you started.
But just as things were getting all cute and emotional, a big boy yeeted my wee boy into a pit, and I had no choice but to step in. The troll fight was super easy, which is good, because due to bad game design, we're going to have to fight about 20 different reskins of these throughout the game's main story. I managed to kill the troll on my first attempt, and I was feeling pretty happy with myself. But just as I delivered the final blow, Boy swooped in and tried to steal my kill like we were playing Modern Warfare 3.
We did it.
What do you mean we did it? You sat back and did jack shit. You couldn't even kill a deer 5 seconds ago, you scrawny little dick. So yeah, after a brief domestic, me and Boy set off back to the house. For the entire journey home, Atreus was being a real sassy knobhead.
I told you something was different about the forest.
And I told you not to speak.
So once we made it back to our humble abode, I decided I would give him the beating of all beatings. But once again, I was unfortunately interrupted before I could rearrange his face.
Come on out! There's no use hiding anymore.
I instantly panicked. Fuck, Atreus had called Childline again. I told Boy that snitches get stitches and demanded he hide under the floorboards. I opened the door and was surprised to see that the man from the Child Welfare Services was not only covered in tattoos, but also practically naked. I pointed out that this was perhaps an inappropriate choice of outfit for someone who works with kids, and let's just say, he took that personally. This turned into a full-on brawl, which was fucking awesome, by the way. And surprisingly, quite easy. Anyway, one thing led to another, and I got slightly carried away and may have accidentally snapped this man's neck clean in half.
Oh!
It was at this moment he knew. He fucked up.
Now, we were in big doo-doo. I'd not only just needlessly murdered an innocent man, but also an employee of His Majesty's government. I panicked, disposed of the body, grabbed my boy, and made up some story about needing to spread his mother's ashes in the highest peak in all the realms. We were now on the run from the law, and this is where our adventure truly begins. We also got our first trophy here, which was pretty good timing, I guess. Our journey had only just begun, but it didn't take long for our first problem to arise. You see, we had an enemy encounter which involved this chap flinging shit at me from a ledge. Normally you would just throw your axe at him and it would be no problemo, but for me, that wasn't an option. So I had to find a different way. And to cut a very long and very boring story short, I had to parry 100 attacks in a row without dying to earn enough XP to unlock this skill, which allows me to turn my shield into an Uno reverse card. So, from now on, people who throw shit will no longer be an issue. Well, apart from one person, but we'll get to him in a bit. From here we wandered around for a bit and learned that Boy is good at reading languages, which I guess means he's not totally useless. And man is he lucky we found that out when we did, because a mere 5 minutes later, we had to decide whether to save his life or let him die after he did some dumb shit and almost fell to his death. I and ahed over whether to help him or go full Lion King on his ass, but I decided his reading ability could come in handy, and reluctantly, I rescued him. Our decision to spare Boy's life really proved to pay off, because in the next combat arena, we encountered our first challenge-screwing enemy, the Revenants, or as I like to call them, f***ing annoying cunts. Yeah, so we can't kill these things without a little help from Boy. You physically can't hit a Revenant unless Boy stuns them with an arrow first. So technically the challenge is failed. But I mean, I'm still the one killing the enemy. Boy is merely stunning them. So it doesn't count on a technicality. Yeah, we'll go with that. Unfortunately, I can't bullshit my way out of this next cock-up. I'm forced into using my axe to kill this gentleman, who we will call Thomas William Arthur Townsend, or Twat for short. For some reason, you can't Uno reverse Twat's attacks. I tried a bunch of times, but it's literally impossible. I think it's something to do with a cutscene, but yeah. Unfortunately, this is the first proper fail of the challenge. No! But just as I thought things couldn't get any worse, I turned around and discovered that my son was dry humping a dead corpse. I couldn't believe what I was watching. How is a father supposed to approach this conversation? I decided to peel the corpse off of him and give him the birds and the bees talk. I told him that we absolutely draw the line at necrophilia, and that he must close his heart to those feelings.
Close your heart to it. Come then. We have a long...
Hello, motherfucker.
From here we travelled a bit further until we met a petite little blue man. He too wasn't convinced that Boy was in fact a boy.
You must be smart or something, boy. You're a boy, aren't you? Ha!
Turns out the blue fella was actually the one who made our axe, so he offered us some upgrades, which, you know, doesn't remotely benefit us on this challenge. Although, we do need to max upgrade our axe for the worthy trophy, so I did take him up on his offer. Moments later, I was once again presented with an opportunity to kill Atreus. I mean, the whole dry humping incident had really given me the heebie-jeebies. And so, I contemplated pushing him off this cliff, but stopped myself right at the last moment. All these tough parental decisions were making me really hungry, so I demanded Boy hunt me some dinner, and he piss-farted around for a bit, but eventually he hunted down this magical boar and shot it. But what my stupid son didn't account for is that this boar happened to belong to the hottest woman in all the realms, Freya, the Queen of Nilfgaard. Freya demanded I shove my hand up the boar's arse, and being the simp I am, I obliged. Mid-fisting, Freya started saying some creepy-ass satanic words, and suddenly the boar felt better. Perhaps that should have been a red flag, but I mean, come on! I was newly single and ready to mingle. Unfortunately, my son was going out of his way to cockblock me.
My mother made it for me. She's dead. We're taking her ashes to the highest peak in the realms.
Boy.
Yeah, my father doesn't like people either.
Boy.
Well, you don't.
Despite being accompanied by the world's worst wingman, I made some attempts at wooing Freya. I even went and picked her some flowers. Upon receiving my gift, Freya said she needed to thank me somehow.
Not without thanks.
And I started to get real excited. but was unfortunately left disappointed by her gift, which was just a spell which hides us from people hunting us. We had been well and truly friend-zoned. In fact, we got friend-zoned so hard that we even unlocked a trophy called a new friend. From here we went for a lovely boat journey, where we bumped into a rather large snake who seemed cool, and then an hour later we bumped into a rather small man who seemed less cool. We explored some more, and so far, this challenge had been pretty easy. We encountered our first ogre, who just like the troll was super easy to kill. And up until this point, other than revenants and that random twat, no enemies had really caused me great difficulty. But that was about to change. You see, once we reached the mountaintop, Freya teleported in and broke the news that in order to get to the top of the mountain, we were going to need to go to Alfheim first, to get a special light which helps dispel this random dark mist. During Freya's monologue, Boy even managed to cockblock me once again.
Or maybe I just like you.
Even though we shot your friend?
But wooing Freya would prove to be the least of our worries, as Alfheim is home to some of the most difficult enemies in the game, as well as one of the most difficult bosses of our entire playthrough. But I'll tell you more about him in a moment. So we arrived in Alfheim, and it was absolutely beautiful. Stunning pink colours, lush green trees. I was starting to think, perhaps me and Boy could live here. I mean, surely the police wouldn't find us out here. Yeah, I think this could be a really nice... Oh god, never mind. So yeah, we witnessed a murder upon arrival, which I think must have given Boy some sort of psychological damage, because he started skitzing out and talking to himself. Being the manly man I am, I decided to ignore my son's mental health issues and demanded he man up.
I don't give a fuck how depressed you are. And the world doesn't give a fuck. No one cares about how depressed you are. It's okay to be sad because I'm a fucking loser and you don't understand. Alright bro, chill, you're a loser. I agree, you're a loser, son.
To give credit to Boy, he actually managed to figure out some elvish rune which allowed us to part the sea like a prime Moses. Although little did I know that below the sea floor lay one of the hardest sequences of fights in the game's main story. You see, these flying floaty fork boys were pretty damn tanky, and also quite hard to hit fist only due to their ability to bugger off into the sky. I found the most effective strategy for killing them was to Spartan kick them into the abyss, but this was pretty hard to pull off when there was lots of them at once. If that strategy failed, I tried strategy 2, which was to just Naruto run to safety. With these two methods, I was able to navigate Alfheim without dying too many times. What wasn't helping though, is that I had Boy constantly stating the fucking obvious.
Well, there it is. You're freezing at first. Smart! You brought the main bridge back.
Or even worse, gaslighting me into thinking I was doing something wrong. You see, I was trying to chop down this fungus shit for a solid 5 minutes. But Boy, not once.
That was too hard. Maybe we could find the light somewhere else.
Not twice.
See? It's too hard. We should go.
But 3 times.
I don't think you're gonna get it. We should go.
Told me I was doing the wrong thing. So I went and explored the entire rest of the map for 20 minutes, only to find out I was in the right place to begin with. Anyway, eventually we made it to the source of the light, no thanks to my dipshit offspring. And just as Freya instructed, I stepped inside. But to my horror, inside this dream world, I was greeted with the voice of Boy. And to put it simply, he was chatting bare shit about me.
He doesn't talk to me. Doesn't teach me. It should have been him. Do you hear me? Him, not you.
After wiping the tears from our eyes, we explored for a few more minutes and followed my wife's magical sack. But just as shit was getting real interesting, Boy ripped me out of the dream world. Apparently I'd been in the light for freaking ages, even though it only felt like a couple of minutes. And fair play to Boy, he'd absolutely swept hordes of floaty forkmen by himself. But my god did he let that get to his head. He'd watched me struggle to kill those guys that he was able to kill with ease, and let's just say it gave him a bit of a superiority complex.
Sure you can handle carrying that? Don't want you to be lagging behind when we get attacked.
I had to put up with his bullshit the whole way home, but just when things couldn't get any worse, this prick showed up. That boss I was talking about earlier, Svartalgefor. The problem with Sven is that he has a fat health bar and no checkpoints. So I could whittle his health bar all the way down and then cock up at the last second, and I would have to do it all over again. I died over and over and over. But eventually, after an hour of repetition and learning his attack patterns Soulsborne style, I turned him into a shish kebab.
Great success.
Well, despite me killing one of the hardest bosses in the game, Atreus was still acting like a complete knob. And things were getting pretty heated.
Was she in the light?
Oh, she's not there.
Not like you would even care if she was.
The fuck you say to me, you little shit? How are you not in fucking school? You kiss your mother with that mouth? It's called you kiss your mother with that fucking mouth? Huh?
I'm sorry.
Anyway, we have the light now, so the mist won't be a problem, and now surely nothing will get in the way of us spreading our wife. Well, other than this incredibly boring and long drawn out sequence of going through this mountain, this part of the game sucks. The only thing of note that happened here is we encountered our first explodey dude. These guys caused me slight problems, as when I punched them, they would internally combust and deal a shit ton of damage to me, and the only way I found around this was to use rage, as this stopped them from hurting me completely. Anyway, after this boring sequence, we had a cute little moment where Atreus set off a lantern and said a prayer, asking that we be looked after on our journey. And well, whoever he was praying to happened to be a complete prick, because a mere 10 minutes later, we were greeted by a very angry looking dragon. The dragon boss fight was actually a lot easier than I thought it would be. Surprisingly, I only died once. The fight's simple enough, you just slap the dragon's hands when he puts them down and punch him in the face when he falls over, while also throwing the occasional explosive rock at him. And if you're currently writing a comment under this video saying that I failed the challenge because I threw this rock, I hope you stub your toe. Anyway, one cool cutscene later, the beast was slain, and our reward was some mistletoe arrows, some other special arrows which can blow up walls, and we also unlocked a trophy. Nice. So, after that minor distraction, we carried on. The end was in sight, and me and Boy did some celebratory roly-polies. But this was premature, because somehow, the salesman I brutally murdered was alive, and let's just say, he didn't sound like a happy bunny. Thankfully, he skedaddled before I got the chance to confront him, and that's when a tree with a Scottish accent told us some bad news.
Oh, then you've come to the wrong place, little brother. The highest peak in all the realms is not here in Midgard. It's in Jotunheim, realm of the giants.
No!
The tree man told me that apparently we need to get an ancient giant rune or some bullshit like that, and that he's, conveniently, the only one who knows how to get it. So we beheaded him, in the hopes that Freya would be able to reanimate his severed head. So we knocked on Freya's door and offered her head. I mean, the head, sorry, slip of the tongue. Oh god, that makes it sound even worse. So we received head from Freya.
Fuck! And spit on that thing!
And then ditched her after we found out she was a god. Because, I'm not sure if you know this about Kratos, but he's not too fond of gods. Anyway, Mimir explained a load of bullshit, but basically we needed to go to this place to visit this chap to steal his chisel. This whole sequence is boring, apart from some clever back and forths between the characters. In this area there's also the wolf fellas, who are a little tricky, but other than that, this whole section of the game was pretty easy. Well, up until Magni and Modi rocked up. This fight was certainly easier than the Sven fight, as there was checkpoints, but still had a degree of difficulty because both enemies deal pretty serious damage and there's also two of them. However, I love this fight, for one reason, and one reason only. And that is that Boy is getting bullied for the entire thing and he gets so rattled.
Come here, half-breed. You done Daddy's head.
Shut up! Don't call me that!
Your mother ugly or something. She cut up your face so you look like her.
Don't talk about my mother!
Don't talk about my mommy. You want me to let you suck on her?
Shut up, you bastard!
Anyway, after about 5 failed attempts, we managed to get the job done, and I let Magni borrow my axe temporarily. Now we were in Big Doo-Doo times 2, because that is the second god we had murdered. So, not great, but we tried not to think about it and headed back to Tyr's Vault. On the way there, we discovered our first Valkyrie, and I wanted to know just how screwed I was going to be later on when I have to try and beat this thing fist only. The answer is, very screwed. I died in under 20 seconds. So yeah, that's not going to be fun. Make sure you watch till the end of the video if you want to witness me fall into despair. And actually, while I have your attention, could you kindly lick that like button and fist that subscribe button? Thanks, buddy. This is a tiny channel, so all help is appreciated. Oh dear, I'm about to say some very out-of-pocket shit in a second. So, eventually we made it to Tyr's Vault, and when we arrived, Atreus decided to give me a little reading lesson. When, oh sugar, Modi showed up again. And to cut a long story short, Modi hit Atreus with a few too many your mum jokes.
Did you get it from your mum? She's stupid and ugly.
Causing him to absolutely flip his shit and then internally combust.
Bruh.
As a result, I then flipped my shit and punched Modi in the dick. That was basically what happened. But anyway, the situation was terrible. My boy had imploded and was on the brink of death. But the good news is, this gave me the perfect excuse to go see Freya. Freya told me that the only way to heal boy is to steal the heart of the gatekeeper of hell. And I couldn't wait. This was the perfect chance to impress the Queen of Nilfgaard. And I mean, wow, fighting the gatekeeper of hell? I can't imagine how cool of a fight that will be. Oh, never mind, he's literally another generic troll. Who at Santa Monica Studios was responsible for all these trolls? It's actually criminally bad game design. Ugh, anyway, we performed open heart surgery on this lad, so hooray, I guess. Also, it's worth noting we had this whole dramatic sequence of getting the Blades of Chaos, but yeah, you don't even need them. You can just fist these guys to death. So a bit of an anticlimax, but one I am grateful for because the fail count remains unchanged. Anyway, according to Mimir, the only way boy would stop imploding on a frequent basis was to let him know that he is a god, and so I followed his advice and instantly regretted it. Once boy found out he was a god, he became an insufferable prick. But more on that later. We made it back to Tyr's Vault, and after a surprisingly easy battle with the Grendels of Fire and Ice, we obtained the Giant's Rune. We're finally going to Jotunheim after all those endless interruptions. Me and boy kicked back and had a couple of beers to celebrate, and headed off to the mountaintop. Unfortunately, it turns out Atreus is a real bad drunk, because he started being a complete cock to anyone and everyone. I mean, damn, he even went and fucking killed Modi. I mean, there's being a bad drunk and then there's that. But by far the worst thing about Atreus' newfound attitude is that every single time I needed him to fire an arrow, he would just say, whatever. Over.
Whatever.
And over.
Whatever.
And over.
Whatever.
I cannot tell you how fucking annoying that was. It's also just shitty writing. Like, yeah, we get it. Atreus is evil now. I don't need him to be a cock every time I press square. So I had to endure that bullshit all the way to the top of the mountain, where, surprise, surprise, Boulder was waiting for us. And because the devs wanted to squeeze another 3 hours of runtime into this game, Kratos accidentally breaks the portal. I'm not going to cover this part of the game because it's boring and stupid, but the long and short of it was, boy shot me, then got kidnapped, we then accidentally fell into hell, had a couple of arguments, escaped hell, conveniently stumbled across a painting which showed us another way to Jotunheim, which involved a really boring sequence where we had to go to Tyr's temple, flip it upside down, blah blah blah, we got a rock, we threw ourselves off a cliff, we got deep-throated by the World Serpent, but then the World Serpent did a tactical chunder, and hooray, we got launched into the interesting part of this game. Also, side note, Atreus is no longer evil because we talked about emotions and stuff. There was actually a really hard encounter in the midst of all that boring shit, where we had to fight 2 Svens at the same time, and I died a shit ton of times, but in all honesty, all of these story fights feel like child play compared to the 9 Valkyries we still have left to kill, so I ain't spending any time on it. Anyway, we arrived at the final area of the game's story, where we bumped into Freya. She was talking all kinds of crazy shit about how she's looking for her son and the trees are talking to her. I ain't gonna lie, it kinda gave me the ick. I decided I no longer wanted to date Freya, and I didn't want her anywhere near boy. But before I could cool things off with her, Boulder rocked up Baywatch style and started trying to scrap her. This led to a full-on fight in which Boulder absolutely walloped Atreus, which was great for 2 reasons. The first being lol, Atreus got harmed, but the second and more important reason, Boulder was now vulnerable due to him accidentally punching a mistletoe arrow. So, hooray! Now we could have a proper fight, and that we did. This entire fight was really easy until the last phase, in which I actually died quite a few times, but with a bit of grit and determination, we triumphed. I thought Freya would find it really cool that I'd saved her life, and so I snapped Baldur's head clean off of his neck. But turns out, I totally misread the room, and Freya got slightly pissed off at me.
I will parade your cold body from every corner of every realm and feed your soul to the vilest filth in hell. That is my promise.
I'm sure she'll get over it. Time to go spread my wife. Wow, what a beautiful adventure. A tale of love and family. What a beautiful end to our story. But yeah, we're still kind of fucked because it turns out the big bad boss of Childline was still hunting me down. This left us with no choice but to explore all the realms, to get the best armor and the best weapons in the game, and to hone our fighting skills by killing the 9 Valkyries, so that we can prepare for an epic showdown with Thor in Thor Ragnarok, I'm guessing. I haven't played that game. Anyway, that was just a theatrical and dramatic way of saying the main story is done, but we still have shit tons of trophies to get from the post-game content. 20 to be precise. Starting with collectibles. Lots and lots of fucking collectibles. I had to search 9 sodding realms to find all 332 of the bastard things, but as a reward for my efforts, we unlocked these 9 trophies that you can now see on screen. That took me about 7 hours in total, and also made me want to do a fist-only challenge on my downstairs region. Anyway, after that, we were on to Niflheim. Fucking Niflheim. This part of the game is so bloody boring that it made me pack my bags and fly 5,000 miles across the earth to start a new life in Brazil. That is not even a joke. Why do you think it's taken me so long to upload a video? For those who don't know, in Niflheim you have to farm these things called mist echoes by killing enemies and opening chests. You then must return the mist echoes to this place called the workshop, so you can unlock all this loot. The catch is, the entire time you're being slowly poisoned to death, and also if you die, you lose all the echoes you collected. This part of the game is not difficult necessarily, but is unfortunately very, very boring. It took me 8 hours and a 2.5 month trip around South America to unlock this bloody thing, but hooray, we got it. From here we unlocked a few random side quest related trophies, such as Unfinished Business for assisting all the wayward spirits and Dangerous Skies for freeing all dragons, which left us only 3 trophies away from the platinum. 1 for completing the combat trials of Muspelheim, 1 for fully upgrading the Blades of Chaos, and of course, 1 for defeating all the Valkyries. And we had managed to get this far using only our fists. Except for that one dude. Fucking Thomas. Anyway, on to Muspelheim, the land of fire and brimstone. Sounds intimidating, but actually, it's not that bad. There are various different combat trials that you have to complete, such as ones where you have to stay alive for a certain amount of time, or ones where you have to kill large amounts of enemies under a time constraint. But ultimately, the main challenge of Muspelheim is trying to stay awake, because it gets pretty bloody repetitive. We did also have to take on a Valkyrie here, but I'll show you that fight momentarily. Anyway, long story short, it was easy and I'm sick of video games. As a reward for completing all the combat trials, we unlocked our final Chaos Flame, which meant we could fully upgrade the Blades of Chaos. And that was that. I will not make you wait any longer. It's time to run the Gauntlet of Valkyries. Rather awkwardly, it took me a mere 2 minutes to realise that I was perhaps massively overleveled. I don't think you're supposed to fight these guys with the best armour in the game, fully upgraded weapons and max health. So, yeah. After all that song and dance, I actually managed to sweep the first 4 Valkyries without dying once. And the subsequent 4 Valkyrie fights, including the one in Muspelheim, were also made pretty trivial by equipping the Berserker Resurrection Stone. This gave me an extra life and 2 full charges of rage, which was enough to absolutely dismantle every single Valkyrie. So, yeah. Sorry to disappoint chaps and chapesses, but the Gauntlet of Valkyries was actually piss easy. Oh, but nothing could have prepared me for what came next. Sigrun, the Valkyrie Queen. The most ridiculous difficulty spike I've ever encountered in a video game, who also just so happened to be the final hurdle between me and the platinum. This was absolutely brutal. I also added a live face cam here, so enjoy looking at my beautiful face, and wish me luck. The first handful of attempts were fairly calm.
Oh shit.
I was learning Sigrun's attack patterns and getting a feel for how she moved.
Oh, how's it feel to get parried? Eat my fists. God, I'm getting pieced up. Oh, okay, resurrection stone time.
You don't look too good.
Yes, I have a hunch this may be slightly difficult. Oh, fuck! That does so much damage. Okay, this is not good. Oh dear, oh dear.
It didn't take me long to discover that doing this fist only is almost impossible, due to one specific move. This one, the fidget spinner, or as it later got called, the pedo move.
I'm so far away! Fuck you.
You see, this move was almost impossible for me to avoid. In a normal run, you would just get Boy to shoot an arrow at her, but for me that wasn't an option.
No, that move is such bullshit because I can't fucking do anything about it.
And my only way of avoiding this attack was to run as far away as possible, but this strategy almost never worked.
Fuck, run. Ow! Oh, it's that move. Fuck! Fuck. Oh, I was as far away as fucking possible. Uh-oh. Oh. I hate you. Not again. What the fuck? 2 in a row!
It's safe to say, I was beginning to lose my cool.
Run. No! Fuck! Kill me in a freaking slow and painful way. I was fucking miles away, you stupid c***.
I thought face cam would be funny for this part of the video, because I thought me raging would be funny. But I've discovered I don't rage in a funny YouTube way. I rage in a concerning I might go to jail kind of way.
I'm gonna commit crimes.
All I'm saying is I'm glad this wasn't live streamed, because increasingly questionable things were coming out of my mouth.
No. No! I dodged straight into it like a stupid pedo. Ooh! I hate myself, I hate my life, and I hate all of my decisions made in the last 24 hours. And most of all, I hate frickin' Norwegian people or wherever this goddamn game comes from.
Thankfully, after my wave of psychosis had subsided, I began to notice a few of the things that were holding me back.
Oh, every time she hits me, I lose rage. You gotta roll to the right. I need to think of this like a proper gamer. Ow. Dodge to the right. Dodge to the right. Oh, dodge to the fucking right. How many times? Oh, that was dumb. Oh. Oh, I am 20. I am 20. I am unemployed. And I am shouting at a computer. Calm the fuck down.
And once I'd calmed down and approached the fight more analytically, I was performing a lot better.
Still got my resurrection stone. Oh my god. we're so close.
But it still wasn't enough.
Oh no! Fuck, we were so close. Oh, I can't fucking do this anymore. I cannot do this any. Fuck me in the fucking bum.
So, I walked away. Just as I was growing into the fight, I got up and left the house. I went for a walk, and this was an absolute game changer. All of the panicky decisions, all of the bursts of rage, all of the questionable sentences leaving my mouth.
Fuck me in the arse.
I left them outside and came back to my desk armed with a can of Monster and all of my fight knowledge I had gained.
Oh god, I got indigestion. Inner peace.
Stay focused.
You don't look too good.
Fuck, that was really dumb. That was really dumb.
Brother, get up, brother.
Oh my god, that was fucking Spursy.
You don't look too good.
Right, rage time. Come on, man. It's over. It's over. Surely it's over. Oh my god, how much health does she have? Oh! No. Yes! Fuck you! We've done it! Come on! Oh, eat dust! Eat dust! Eat dust! She's gone! Oh! Oh my god, that was so tense. Oh my god, that was so tense. And what a journey it's been, spanning 3 months, 2 continents, a lot of energy drinks, and a lot of rage. I burped during my monologue. We've done it, lads. We've done it, lads. This is it. The trophy is mine. Come on. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm gonna take my headphones out. Thank you so much for watching, guys. What a fucking journey it's been. If you enjoyed this video, check out this one over here, The Last of Us Part 2 with no kills. We like to do platinum challenges here, help us stand out, and yeah, the channel's super small at the moment, only 15 subscribers. Thank you to the 15 of you. But if you want to join the Gibbard Games revolution, feel free. Hit that like button somewhere there, hit the subscribe button. I can finally take this fucking t-shirt off. I've been wearing it for 3 days straight.